Howdy y'all, welcome to New Zealand. We're back here once again to continue the grind for the great one. Now I've been doing this and I've been coming here and doing rotations in between hunting saltwater crocodile and sandbar and kangaroo, you know, all that interesting stuff that came out with Australia. So it's created quite the conundrum where you got to pick, do I want to grind for the great one or do I want to go hunt down new trophies of stuff we didn't even have in the game? Because the great one moose, that was not an issue because we got New England as the map, and New England only had one slight variation to a duck. Other than that, everything on that map was a repeat from another map, so there wasn't much of a decision to be had there between, do I hunt the new map or do I just go grind nothing but a great one? So the moose was a much easier choice to make. This one, you're having to balance, if you want to go to the new map, between grinding for the great one fallow deer and hunting Australia. So I've been doing that and going back and forth, and at about 375 kills into my grind, I finally got one to spawn. So we're gonna go through here and we're gonna hunt him, and I really don't want to try to hunt him up on the lake. I want to see if I can find where he's at on the map. So I'm gonna find his trail and I'm gonna follow him in, but before we get to him, we're gonna go through and see if there's anything else up and check out the map and maybe show a couple places where I've set up and give you some ideas where you might be able to set up yours so you can get better coverage, because great one fallow deer has a lot of solo spawns. So you will have fallow deer move all over this map. Like, you won't have set herds like whitetail have almost no stragglers. Like, you don't see random bucks walking up to the water whitetail wise. They're almost all in herds of either, you know, some male, some female, all bucks, all does. You know, you don't see just one buck off to himself, or you don't see when you shoot them, the herd goes this way and this one buck goes that way. And that's how you can sometimes tell you've got solo spawns in there, because the group of whatever you're shooting runs off one direction and then like one or two of them will run a different direction. And that'll usually tell you you've got solo spawns. Well, fallow deer have a whole bunch of solo spawns. So I'll show you where you might want to check, because there's not a whole lot of area that fallow deer spawn, but there's a couple places where they spawn off to the side by themselves. And if you don't look there, you'll never notice them. So we're going to go around and look at that and check it out. And then we're going to get up on this fallow deer great one and see if we can get him hunted down and added to the lodge with the rest of the great ones. He's the only one left that I got to get put in there, and then we're full up on great ones. We just got to get more variations now, because, you know, thank goodness they started adding fur variations and antler variations. So great ones are actually pretty cool to hunt. So let's get to it and go around the map, and then we'll run up on this guy. All right, we've been working on this grind for, you know, since the map came out, and we've already had one video of making a multi-mount with the new white fur variations, but here's a nice level 5 250 to 291. We'll see if we can get him taken out. Maybe he'll be one of the bigger ones and he'll end up going on the multi-mount. There we go. Got both of those dropped. So we'll go over there and pick him up and see what he's got going on. And after we get him picked up, I'm going to put up a picture of the route I take. And it's going to have the locations numbered, and it'll be numbered in the order I go. And I'll have little arrows in between how I go to each one, and I'll have the number circled, whether it's a tent or a lodge, it'll be circled with what it is. And then you'll be able to see wherever I have like herds of fallow, and then where I have stragglers that pop up, like the solos that, you know, tend to be here and there. The yellow stars will be wherever the random ones will switch around sometimes, you know, because sometimes you'll have a herd of fallow be massive, and then you shoot the males out of it, and then you come back and there's only 2 males in it. Well, that's because the other 2 or 3 that were there were actually solo. They just scattered back around the map when they repopulated. So you have to find those. So the way I run my route is I make it where I go through and I check basically the area every spawn as possible. And I start my grind pretty late in the drink time because it's 10 to 3 or 10 to 1300. And I start mine at like 11:30 because I just don't want to be sitting around waiting for them to show back up. So I go ahead and start it pretty late. And then I just keep resetting the time whenever it's time to start a new rotation. All right. Well, here's that level 5. So let's see what we got here. Yeah, he's got that split and that back tine right there. So that usually means they're not a troll. The ones that troll usually have a spike there instead of that double split. There are some that do make diamond with a spike. But if you're going to get a troll, I think almost every troll I've gotten has had a spike instead of the split. So if you see the split, it's going to be a diamond. But this one was 250 minimum, so he's guaranteed diamond. But we'll go ahead and get him picked up and see what he is. He is 252.56. So that is diamond number 13, I believe. So we'll get him taxed up. Check them out. I just love the fallow deer models. They're probably one of my favorite models in the game. All right, get these other 2 picked up. And then I will post the map. The one thing I really haven't got a lot of is rares. Like I've gotten like 3 piebalds and that's it. I did get a decent piebald, like 233. So he's got a pretty decent rack on him. But I'm doing herd management right now because I'm just trying to get a diamond of every color of the new fur variations. And I've gotten them all except for chocolate. That's the only one I got left. And it's the second favorite one. Like I wanted the white one. Oh. Okay. Never mind. I guess we got piebald number 4. And he's got a decent rack on him. And there we go. Well, that happened live. Was not expecting that. So a diamond and a rare back to back right here on this little lake coast over here on the far left of the fallow deer rotation. Not the far left of the map, just far left of where fallow deer are. Well, let's get over here and pick this piebald up. That's the mostly white piebald variation. I do believe there's 2. One is the mostly brown with white piebalding, and then this is the mostly white with the brown. The mostly brown is a darker brown, and the mostly white is a lighter brown. But that's a good looking fella right there. That's not bad. 2 little trophies back to back here. Get them picked up. Get them taxed. Well, I'm gonna have to redo my piebald multi-mount again because he's bigger than one of the little boys that are on there. Well, it's gonna be a pretty good video. You're gonna have a diamond, a piebald, and a great one. I can make a multi-mount out of just what I got here. All right, so that makes 13 diamonds, like 3 trolls, 4 piebalds, and a great one. And it was all in about 400 kills. So we're gonna go ahead and get that map posted. And then I'll continue on with the grind, and I'll post anything that comes up interesting. But other than that, we will be moving on to trying to get more diamonds in Australia and checking out the new true wrecks on the Springbok and the Euro bison and the Plains bison. So, all right, here's the map. And I'm just gonna put it over the middle of the screen while I'm running around in the background. So what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna start at 1, and that one usually has like 1 or 2 or 3 solo spawns. So you just want to check there, because if your great one does happen to repop off of a solo spawn, he might show up there all by himself. So you can't ignore that lake. And then I go to 2, I shoot the ones across from where that one is, then I travel to 3, and then I just farm up the side of the lake like you just saw in the previous clip, where I was getting a diamond and a piebald. Then you just follow that around. Once you get to 7, that is the spot where, if you look at the little land sticking out behind, little peninsula thing there, all you got to do is turn around and fire your gun like over that hill, and all the fallow deer, if you have any back there, will run up over that hill and across the field right there beside you. So you can take out any of those without having to walk over there and check or set up anything on the back side of that. So it makes it really easy to get all of those flushed out. And then the rest of it's pretty straightforward. You just follow it around on the loop and shoot any males, whether you're doing herd management or not. If you're doing herd management, just don't shoot the 2s and leave the diamonds up for a couple rotations once you start seeing them. And then just go around about 3 or 4 rotations and shoot the 3s and 4s. And then once you feel like you've got a ton of 2s, you'll be shooting. You want to be shooting about, if you're on herd management, you're going to be shooting about 30 to 50 a rotation. If you're not on herd management, you're probably going to be shooting about 60 to 80. So there's a big difference, because you're eliminating a large part of the population that you're going to be shooting. So there's the map, and that will do it for that. So if you want to check it out, you can pause the video, take a screenshot, whatever you got to do. But that's all I've got on like how I do my fallow deer grind. And now here is the great one himself. Right, I found where his rest zone was, and I have snuck in here super close. Now if I can just figure out where he is. There he is. Ooh, look at him. That is a pretty fella right there. Hey, though, you talking about me? Man, I like the way they look. They are so chonkers. That's a chonker. And then it got the rack that I like. I love that Irish elk rack. And then it got the fur type that I like too. Like the only other one I want the typical or the bladed on the silver. But the Irish rack, I think, look really good on this painted one. Plus it's the most like off, it's the most like different looking one to me. Cause it's like half piebald, half spotted. Looks like a calico with a identity crisis, you know, something like that. But we just need him to stand up because I really don't want to shoot him from that angle because it's hard to tell where anything is at that angle. So we're going to see if we can get him to stand up, and then we're going to go ahead and take him out. All right, let's get the weapon ready. Get this thing dialed back down to 75 because he is super close. Did that not do it? That'll do it. All right, here we go. Whew. And he's down. Let's get up here and look at this magnificent creature. All right, what we got? Oh, look at that rack. Man, it's hard to fit him in there with the rack. Good old Irish oak looking rack there. And then I love the fact that he's like completely different on the other side. All right, well, that's enough photos of that pretty boy. So let's get him picked up. Check him out. There we go. Oh, I love it. That is good looking. Get in here and take a closer look. Yep. I have to say, I got one I really like right off the bat. Like, I've been lucky so far with that. So, been getting the ones I like early in the process. Or if it's the only one I get, it happens to be the one that I like. Whew. All right. Yeah. All right, well, now we can take him and stick him in the lodge. I just got to figure out where I'm going to place him in the lodge, because I kind of got all of my great ones lined up down the main hall. So now we got to figure out how to finagle him in there. All right, take a picture of that. Go into Codex. Take a picture of this. And that will do it. So we'll go get this bad boy put in the lodge, and then we'll probably continue the grind in between, you know, hunting Australia and wherever else, because I still need to try to get, you know, the new rack for the springbok and the new rack for the European bison and the American bison, or whatever they're called, plains bison. So we're gonna work on those, but we're gonna head on back to the lodge and get this bad boy put up. All right, here we are in the lodge, y'all, and we got the Fable painted fallow deer great one, and there he is. I really love this fur pattern, and I got my favorite rack out of all of them, so I'm glad that I got both of them on the very first one. So now I don't feel like I have to push to get many more. Now I can just hunt them at my leisure. But that's what kept me from making a video the last couple of days. Was I wanted to get this out of the way, or make sure I was putting enough time into it, but I didn't want to make video after video of fallow deer diamonds, so I was just gonna wait until I got this fella right here. Well, here's this fella right here. So there is the fallow deer great one, and then the piebald and the diamond that we grabbed, I went ahead and made a multi-mount because I had to break up the one that had my big old fallow deer on it to put with him. So I made another one and put the diamond and the piebald in this one over here. So here we go. So that was a pretty good run there, and all of these were on the same lake. So I had the great one, I had a diamond, and I had that piebald, all in that same lake, and all in the same rotation too. So it wasn't even like they were, they just happened to pop there one after the other. They were all there at the same time. So that was a pretty crazy spawn pattern right there. But there we go. All right, well, that'll do it for today. We got the great one added to the hall of great ones. We got the two moose up there on the wall now. We moved the whitetail down here to the main one. We got the fallow deer here. We got the black bear here, and we got the small rack red and the medium rack red right there. So I hope everybody has some good luck on their fallow deer great one grind, and I hope you get what you're looking for. And until then, I hope y'all have some good luck out there. Hope y'all have a blessed day, and much love and peace out, y'all.